we're going to be talking about decentralized finance. And
Okay.
obviously, we can't talk about decentralized finance without talking about yield farming.
Yeah.
So if you can, the real cyber doctor, if you can tell us a little bit more about what DeFi means and what yield farming is in a nutshell.
Okay. DeFi has evolved over the last, I think, 5 years. It's a platform, or will I say an industry, that allows users and owners of various tokens to find some use case for those tokens. And by use case, I mean things like lending, borrowing, staking, gaming. I think it's just a means or a mechanism to look for a meaning of life for so many useless tokens. Okay, so to be honest, 99% of crypto tokens are useless. Yeah.
And when you say useless, you're trying to be politically correct, right?
Yeah, they're shit coins. Let's not be politically correct. Let's be straight.
Right.
99% are shit coins. They have no purpose of life. So DeFi is a creative attempt to find the meaning of life for these useless tokens. And some brilliant guys came up with the idea to decentralize a financial system that will allow anyone, regardless of their age, color, race, creed, gender, or political or social class, to participate in the crypto economy. So if you have Ethereum, you can go to a DeFi platform and provide liquidity. So you could allow people to buy and sell Ethereum with stable coins. So there are so many stable coins. One of the most popular ones is the USDC or UST. I think it's extinct now, although it still exists. There's another popular one called BUSD, Binance USD. So there's so many stable coins. So most people go to the platform, these DeFi platforms, they supply liquidity. They have 10,000 worth of Ethereum. You match it with maybe 20,000 USDC, and then you trade. You allow people to buy and sell these tokens, and you get some fees. Now, where yield farming comes into play is when the platform allows you to get something called liquidity pool token. They call it LP tokens.
Okay.
So you could take your LP tokens because you've provided liquidity in the marketplace, and you could stake it for some rewards. Now, the rewards could come any range from 1% to 100% annual percent yield, APY, or annual percent ratio. So you could get return on your investment. So if you have $1 million worth of liquidity, and in the yield farming they're promising you 10% on your investments every year, that's about $100,000 every year on that investment. So that is what it is. It's an ecosystem to find a use case for tokens, because there are over 10,000 tokens at the last count on CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap is like the Premier League of cryptocurrency. That's where you find all the tokens, their ranks, their market capitalization, circulating supply, fully diluted market cap, and all that. So you find all those metrics on CoinMarketCap, and if your token makes it to CoinMarketCap, it has some form of social validation.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for that explanation. Sorry, I hope I wasn't putting in there. But yeah, so from what you said, I can pick out a few advantages. But if you can just highlight maybe 2 or 3 more pros of yield farming and a few cons. So if you start off with the pros.
Okay, so there are 2 types of crypto investors. There are the ones who are the hodlers.
Hodlers, okay.
Yeah, they call them the hodlers. It's actually holders, but misspelt. They misspelt it intentionally.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant they were holding the coins.
Yeah, it's holding, but the L is after the D. It's not before. Yeah, so they call them hodlers. So those guys don't care about DeFi or the yield farming. They just buy the token, keep it for 10 years, forget about it, if they believe in the project. But the other guys, the day traders, the guys who are short term, they call them the paper hands.
Paper hands.
Yeah, paper hands. So they want to earn some reward on their token. They want to get some quick benefits. So if you have a token like Binance, for example, BNB, and you could go to the most popular platform, PancakeSwap, and then stake those BNB. So instead of having 10,000 after 10 years, because you staked it on the platform, or you lent it to someone else, got some interest on it, you could end up with 10,500 after 10 years.
Okay.
So that's the benefit.
High yield, right?
Yeah, you could get something out of it. Yeah. So that's one good benefit. So you essentially making your money work for you. You're using crypto to make crypto. Yeah. Okay.
So would you say you are a paper hand or holder?
I'm both.
You're both. That's good. I like that balance.
Yeah. It depends on the project. Yeah.
Okay. So what are the cons?
Oh, good one. Like I said, I think I've said this before. 99% of all these crypto DeFi platforms and the tokens, they are scams. Yeah, and the history of scam is not unique to cryptocurrency or the blockchain ecosystem. We've always had scams. Even the stock market, there's a lot of scam going on there. The bond market, we could go on and on with all those industry. But in crypto is the wild west of scams. It's a no man's land because there is zero barrier to entry. So for example, I could create my own token, call it Kafy token, and use $5,000, just a startup investment of $5,000. Okay, and add liquidity. I could mint a trillion or a quadrillion of Kafy tokens, mint them, and add liquidity to just 1 million of it, and that will make the market cap extremely high, and the circulating supply fairly okay. So then people start buying and selling, but they don't know I have about 100 million of Kafy tokens, or 1 billion worth of it, stashed up in different wallets.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what you could do. You could do that. So when you have that kind of infrastructure and that kind of system, you could easily lose your money because you don't know who the developer is, how much of these tokens they have, how much they are willing to dump on you, how do they make the yield that they give to you. So where's the yield really coming from? If they are promising you, for example, last 2 years at the height of DeFi, 2021, there were some platforms and projects that were promising about 1,000,000% APY. Yeah, it's not realistic.
That sounds a bit too good to be true.
Yeah, 500,000% APY. There's 7 million% APY. And people were jumping on this. The paper hands guys, they were jumping on all this project because they felt that if they just put 100k quickly in a month or two, they cash out. Yeah, but the guys who develop these things are not really stupid. How can they really sustain that kind of promise? So there is no regulator to hold them accountable. If they scam you, nobody's going to arrest them because the regulation around there is blur. So that's the major disadvantage of these DeFi platforms. It's 99% scam because the promise of reward, interest, is not sustainable. If you go to a bank, if you stash your money in a bank, for example, you're not going to get more than 0.5% a year on your savings. So now you compare that to DeFi, they promise you 100%, 200%. Where's the money coming from?
Yeah, it's funny when people don't think, when they just see the high percentages, they're like, oh yay, let me go for it. So it's also very good to think and do your research, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so with it being very susceptible to fraud or scam, do you think, in your opinion, that it's worth it then to invest?
It depends on your goal.
Okay.
It's never happened where you have a platform trading only Bitcoin, for example, using Bitcoin as the sole currency for their decentralized finance activities. If that happens, of course, I know Bitcoin is not controlled by anyone. It's fully decentralized up to ownership, up to the infrastructure level. So that I can trust. If you create a platform and say, we're going to use Bitcoin as the sole token or the currency for our decentralized operations, lending, borrowing, gaming, everything, trading, competitions, yes, then you have some credibility there. But if you say Ethereum has infinite supply. There is no limited supply on Ethereum. And the few people, the diamond hands who hold Ethereum, they can dump it on you anytime. The circulation is around a select few, especially during the early times of the project, and so with every other ones that have been developed after it. So it's not worth it if it's not Bitcoin. It's not worth the risk unless you're really, really ready to be reckless financially. Yeah.
So the risk is very high.
Extremely high, 110%. Yeah, it's scam. It's like a fraction of a percent in 10 projects is fine. Just a fraction. It's not even one project that is completely clean. You're still going to find some problems, but that's how bad it is. It's really bad.
It is bad, but you'd say the 1%. If you are that 1% out there, you're feeling very courageous, that they should just go for it.
Yeah.
And see, what happens. Is it something that they see what happens, or they can, is there a way to identify a fraudulent yield farm? And
that's a very brilliant question. Very brilliant question. I've been in this space for years, and I can tell you every single time they beat me hands down. When
the fraudsters beat you hands down.
Yeah, the scammers, especially because they check all they recycle these projects. They understand what you are looking out for, right? They tweak their metrics. We could create a scam project today, and it will be very difficult for a security forensic crypto guy to detect the fraud, because there is so much infrastructure to do it. We could create Kafy token, for example, put 100 million in total supply, add liquidity to $1 million, invest like $6,000, put $5,000 against the 1 million. That means you're going to have about 5 cents or so per coin, and then everybody is fooled because it's cheap, right? A lot of young people, they're fooled. Then you take 1,000, you find one nice TikTok influencer, you give them, and they start promoting Kafy token, and then when they go back to check, they discover that we have done a fantastic website, we have Twitter following, we have Reddit engagements. You could get $20 worth of 20 comments for Reddit, people talking about you on Reddit for just $20. It's cheaper on Twitter. You could get retweets for $2. So if you're going to check social engagement, social metrics, you have a TikTok influencer talking about you, you have Reddit, Twitter, you have a nice beautiful website, we have a copy and paste white paper, promising you nothing, because nobody reads that white paper, but it's nice, it's well written, and that's it. That's all you need to do to execute a crypto scam. And then this is where it gets more technical. This is why guys like me gets food too as well, because what we look at sometimes is the token distribution. We want to know how many people own Kafy token.
Okay.
So that gives it some credibility. If we discover that 90% of the token holders are concentrated among 3 people, then it's a red flag, right?
Okay.
So to avoid this problem, what I do is, what the scammer will do, not me. What the scammer will do is going to automate crypto addresses. I can automate 10,000 crypto wallets in 1 hour. You could do that. And then you now airdrop your tokens, your 90% of the tokens with those 10,000 accounts. So when you are doing your search as an engineer or as a forensic guy, you're going to see, 90% of the token is actually evenly distributed to 10,000 wallets.
Okay.
Not knowing that those 10,000 wallets are controlled by the scammer, just one scammer or a group of organized criminals here. So how do you circumvent that? How do you avoid that?
There's no hope for you guys.
There's no hope, yeah.
What do we have?
Yeah.
What hope does the common person have?
Yes.
There must be something that you can give to be like, okay, this is what you can watch out for.
And then this is where it gets more dangerous.
Okay.
Because there is something called trading volume. It's very important in crypto. If you go to CoinMarketCap, like I said, it's the Premier League table of cryptocurrencies. You want to be looking out for trading volumes. How quick and how frequent do people trade these tokens? So are they buying and selling? Is there market activities? Even that aspect of the audit can be manipulated. So there's something called trading bots. So with a few lines of Python script, I could create a trading bot between those 10,000 accounts. You see, those 10,000 fake accounts? I could create a trading bot that will start trading those tokens. And everyone will think, so they'll be buying, selling, they're just playing around each other because I'm controlling them. All the script is run by me, at one single instance. So that fools the auditor. How do you escape the trading volume check or the token distribution check? Because those are very, very critical.
Yeah, they are. But then you've also said that it can be manipulated. So is there like a website or like trusted, platforms that people can go on to check?
Good question. Wow. It's like you've done a lot of research on this thing. You're very spot on. Now, this is where the problem is. These websites, they are programs, right? They are told to check something within a given parameter. There's some parameters they've put in place, right? Now, everything is time-based. If I launch a scam project, it's not going to be possible for these websites to quickly pick the contract address of my project and index it and gather the right information. Is difficult. You understand? So it's not real time. We don't have a solid, reliable, real time security audit of this project, because that's what we need. Because if I launch the project, everything is fine, you go check it. Is it going to be fine in 2 days, in 3 days? Because I could modify the code and relaunch that project. One of the most popular guys that do this very well is SafeMoon. SafeMoon is one of the biggest templates for a scam project. They have had SafeMoon version 1, version 2. I think they've come up with version 3. And there are other people copying and using their code as well. So if you are checking SafeMoon, what are you really checking and when are you checking it? Because these guys are kind of 10 steps ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So one thing I'll take away from that is maybe give it time.
Yeah.
Right?
Real time monitoring. If you could develop a real time, it's a full-time job. If you could develop a real-time monitoring alerts.
If someone wants to invest, they have to constantly keep checking.
Yes, you need to. You cannot invest in a shit coin without understanding code.
But most people don't though. Most people just see the hype like, oh wow, there's money to be made, let me just get in there. But the technical aspect, people don't understand that, myself included.
Yeah, you have to be fairly technical, because in this crypto wild west, there's no trust, zero. So because before you use Microsoft, for example, you're using Microsoft Word or WhatsApp or all these apps on your phones, you don't check the codes, right? You just trust them, right? You trust them, because maybe they are under one regulation, they are going to play right by the regulators, they've been properly audited. In crypto land, you could have an audit on your project from a security perspective. So one of the foremost company doing those audits is called CETIC. They do audit. You pay them $10,000, they audit your project, they put their badge on your project. Everyone sees you've been CETIC audited. But have you been?
So that's the badge people can look out for.
No, that's security. That's to check if the code is not vulnerable to attacks.
Okay.
But have you audited the people? It's hard to audit the intentions of the people launching that project.
That's very true.
Yeah, so that's where the zero trust come into play. That's where we need to have real-time monitoring of this project, even on the chain. Once they've been launched on chain, we need to monitor the whales addresses. That's the guys with the big volume of these tokens. We need to track movements. There's so many things to monitor. And one of the most important things to monitor is the market capitalization. We need to make sure that aspect is not being manipulated.
Yeah, but that's the experts to do.
Yeah, you need
it's
to
not something that I can try to do from my end.
Absolutely.
Investing.
Yeah.
So
that is what
nothing I can do from my end. It's just to invest with fingers crossed. And would you say people should invest their life savings then?
Never. Don't try it. Yeah. Last 2 years, in 2021, we had stories of people selling their properties to invest in crypto. That is a no-no.
Wow, selling their properties,
Yeah, it's dangerous. Taking loans, never leverage, because there's something called rehypothecation in crypto. So if you go to these DeFi platforms now to give them your tokens, what they do sometimes is to take your tokens and go to another platform with a bigger APY and rehypothecate it. They will lend it to those people. Now, if those guys have a big problem, they have a big problem, you have a big problem. So it's like an endless vicious cycle. And mostly there are people who really don't know what they're doing. They're not financial experts, they're not properly trained, they are just average people. Extremely zero knowledge. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's really, really scary to think of people, selling their homes, their cars just to invest. So what they're telling us now is do not do that. So the real cyber doctor is telling us we shouldn't, do not invest money that you can't afford to lose. I remember you mentioning that. I don't know if that was last episode, but you were mentioning that people should not invest what they can't afford to lose.
True.
Well, okay, because it's 99%, like you said. You even said 100%. That's crazy.
99% are fraud.
I'm thinking if it's 100%.
And when it comes to risk, 100% risk. Yeah, there's no margin for trust. Unless you can't trust crypto projects.
Okay.
If you're not holding Bitcoin, you're in the Wild West. Yeah.
Okay, so just to end it.
Yeah.
Right. On a nice note, do you have like DeFi providers that you can recommend?
That's the scary part. You can't really recommend anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, but there is something I always say. You can look at the people behind it.
Exactly. So research the people behind it.
Yeah, you need to research those people. Make sure they have proper credibility. They have you have their CV visible on LinkedIn. You know, you could trace them properly. Even at that, you still are not safe, because the guys on Celsius that worked on the Celsius project, they had a lot of credible people. You know, Alex Mashinsky was one of the founders of Celsius. He was part of the people who invented voice over IP, and he was trying to invent voice over money over IP, and which is Celsius. And they still went away with people's money. They still went bankrupt. They messed with people's funds.
Even someone that's very credible,
yes,
can still have very ill intentions.
As long as it's money, it's difficult. It's extremely gray area. Once money is involved, you don't want to trust anybody.
Okay. Well, so it's good to know that.
Trust the code. Yeah, trust the software. If you can read the code, yeah, and you can follow the code, you can see the execution of the code, and you can audit the code regularly, you're fairly safe. If you can't, you're not safe.
Okay, so if you can't, so you're better off not investing at all.
Stay away. Be a diamond hand. Maybe hold Bitcoin. It's not financial advice, by the way.
No, it's not. But it's good to just take something away and know how to look out for scams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, thank you for that. That was really, insightful.
Thank you, because you always find a way to bring the best. Bring the best in me in terms of the questions. I really appreciate it. It's
powerful.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Powerful. Loads.